I need you to lean in for this one. If you've been quietly killing yourself, trying to fix something that was never really yours to fix, I need you to hear this episode. I want to start with something that I've told three separate clients in the last 2 weeks. And each time it took their breath away. They came to their coaching calls with me with an issue, a problem, and I said to them all, you are overcompensating for a problem that you didn't create. And not only that, it's going to cost you your sleep, your health, your pleasure. And there's this awakening happening right now that our bodies are not letting us fake it anymore. Whether this is in career, in the bedroom, in relationships, friendships. And that's where we're starting today. I'm Dr. Jordan Wiggins, naturopathic doctor, author of The Pink Canary. And for the last decade, I've worked with high functioning, very successful women who cannot figure out why their pleasure has gone offline in their bodies, in their relationships, in their lives. When was the last time you full belly laughed? When was the last time you danced in the kitchen just because? Today's episode is a little spicier than usual because I'm watching the same patterns unfold in client after client, and honestly, I'm not willing to be polite about it anymore. I've been pulling punches, I've been softening messaging because I thought, they're not ready to hear it. I know I wasn't ready either, but I wish that I'd had these truths and understandings that I'm going to be sharing with you. So here's the pattern. Tell me if you recognize this in yourself. So we have a high achieving superwoman. Okay. Somewhere along the way, we get told, we internalize the messaging that we aren't enough. And this messaging carries on into heterosexual relationship and into sex. Okay. We get told that we're not desirable enough, especially as we age or have stretch marks after pregnancy. Like my boobs are kind of deflated after breastfeeding. We get told we're not adventurous enough, not relaxed enough, not fun enough, not clean enough, whatever. Like we're not doing enough around the house. So we do what a superwoman does. We take accountability. We put in the hard work. We read the books. We listen to the podcasts. We go on a journey and we try to fix ourselves so that our relationships, our lives can be fixed. And there's a funny part about this is that usually we are doing this in the context of a partner or a business relationship that makes us feel insufficient while also doing nothing, while also taking no action. So let's talk about relationships specifically. So the man is usually centered. His needs are default. His desire is the gold standard. So he wants to have sex, 5 nights a week. You want to have sex 0 nights a week. Your 0 doesn't count. It's about you getting up to his 5 nights, right? So we're centering him. We're not centering pleasure. And it's our job to pretzel ourselves until we bend into the shape required of us. And this is in mothering, this is in relationship, sex, everything. So I've had clients quasi coerced into the duty sex, the checkbox sex to keep him happy, to keep him from losing it on her and the kids, convinced into open relationships, clients whose, Mother's Day just passed. So we have women doing the majority of the household and emotional labor of relationships to the tune of $10.8 trillion a year is women's unpaid labor. And that they did that study based on minimum wage. So it's actually much greater than that. And I believe that is more than the tech industry annually. So, like, this is our unpaid labor is massive. And this is why we can't fake it anymore. We're waking up and we want to create pleasure centered relationships that work for everyone involved. But first, we have to admit it. The shit that we have been doing is not working. Okay. So I had a client, husband sent her flowers on Mother's Day. She's repeatedly said that she does not like flowers. And when she looked at the card, the order has been placed by his assistant. It was outsourced. Okay. And I'm going to tell you that I have been there. I've had assistants buy me flowers and gifts for years before, and it doesn't feel good. But when you're in it, you try to convince yourself that that's enough. Okay. And this is an interesting example. So she brought it up to him. And in order to bring it up to him, she first chat GPT'd it to help soften her tone. But his response at the end of the day was something along the lines of, why can't you just fake being happy so I can feel good? Like, why can't you just be happy with my bare minimum effort and giving you a gift that I knew you wouldn't like? He gave her a gift that he knew she wouldn't even like, but he still wanted her to be happy about it. Okay. So there's lots of levels of coercion and male centering and power dynamics going on here. Okay. So fake it so he can feel good about himself. And men are doing that with sex too. Fake it so we can avoid the moods. Okay. So, do we have a sexual dysfunction problem that 50% of women globally have sexual dysfunction? I don't think we do. I think that we have a problem from not knowing how to center our pleasure. So here's the clinical piece, okay? Because for 11 years, I've been helping women on their like women's health and women's sexual health. And that is how I approach things first and foremost. Our bodies aren't broken. Is it possible that 50% of women have sexual dysfunction and that it's our fault? Fuck no. Your low libido is not a defect. Your pelvic pain is not a defect. The recoil, the ick, the quiet dread you feel when you climb into bed at night because you don't want to have sex with you, none of this is malfunction. It's data. And to be clear, the patriarchy has damaged men as well. And the ones that I want to teach you how to give the best blowjob ever to, the good the good ones get it, and the good ones understand, and they're willing to be accountable and change behavior from the privilege that they've had. Female arousal is context dependent. Full fucking stop. The pleasure centers in your brain, and this has been studied with MRIs, go offline when we are dysregulated and managing too much and we don't feel safe. When we are in fight, flight, fawn, freeze, our brain literally cannot produce the response that we call desire. Okay, it's not a choice, it's not laziness, it's not lack of willpower. It's literally biology doing what we have evolved to do to keep us safe. So when we are stressed out and we are doing too much, our desire is going to go offline, obviously, because our bodies don't think of reproducing in stressful times. We're focused on survival. So when a woman tells me she doesn't want to have sex with her partner, I'm not asking about her desire, her libido. I'm asking questions around the context she's being asked to be aroused in. Because if the context is one where she's blamed, dismissed, outsourced to an assistant, expected to perform pleasure, expected to feel desire for a partner that is very under functioning, okay? If she is, and Esther Perel talks about this, and I like this. I love parts of Esther's work, but about how domesticity destroys desire. So if you are literally like cleaning shit stains out of somebody's underwear or having to hire more and more help because your husband is getting high or not cutting the grass or not sharing the cleaning responsibilities, and you literally can't do it all. So you need to earn more to hire more help. Your body's doing the right thing. It's protecting you. Your body knows before your brain catches up. But the cruel joke in all of this is that we have been taught for generations that this protective response is some sort of flaw that we have to fix. Okay. And the fix is not pushing past it, forcing it, faking it, taking more supplements, doing pelvic floor exercises, taking HRT, counting your macros, watching more porn, scheduling date nights. Okay. Those are all great things in pleasure centered relationships. Women with super traits are not in pleasure centered relationships. They're in relationships with significant power dynamics. They are usually a very high overfunctioner partnered with an underfunctioner. And our bodies know it, and we are not overriding the signals. Forcing, and this is how women used to use my work, and even I use my work in the beginning was like, how do we get back in touch with our desire? How do we feel good? But I didn't understand that the context wasn't always a safe and healthy one for every woman that I worked with. But forcing your body to open inside a context that isn't safe, it is not healing. It's a form of harm. So there's a phenomenon that we're calling quiet quitting in relationships, which you've probably heard it about work. And I think women have been doing this for generations, but I want to talk to you about it because I think a lot of you are already doing it without a name for it. Quiet quitting in marriage is not divorcing. It isn't having an affair. It isn't a dramatic exit. It's something quiet and more powerful. It's letting go of the rope. It's letting go of having everything being your responsibility to fix. It's the moment that we stop centering everyone else but ourselves. And it is the first step to healing. Okay. We stop orbiting everyone else. We stop taking the temperature of everyone's moods like they are a thermostat. Our bosses, our children, our husbands. Okay. Because if we have to take the emotional temperature of the room because we're worried that our husband is going to have a temper tantrum if he doesn't get his way, is that going to open us to desire or close us off? Like, this is logical, but yet I've worked with thousands and thousands of women and we don't get this. We still try to fix it. Okay. We stop trying to convince him to meet us halfway when the data is clear for years. Okay. He won't. Okay. We're not announcing this. We're not leaving notes. We're not chat GPTing how to talk to him about it. We're stopping over functioning. And oddly, sometimes this creates more peace and pleasure for everyone involved eventually. Okay. But this is what happens almost without fail. So the partner that's been benefiting from the overfunctioning panics, throws the temper tantrum with his emotions. All right. And then this is when you know you've got a good man. When you go to him and you say, I am carrying too much. I need your help with this. And he does it. He becomes more attentive. He handles it without being asked or reminded. Okay, but I find that that's like less than 10% of the time because we usually get the emotions and then we get the brief change in behavior, or there's just a full on like defensiveness, denial, and they attack you that you've changed. You're the one that's the problem. They bring up something that you did wrong from 10 years ago. So they use every book from the patriarchal playbook to destabilize you and put you back into their orbit. Okay. And this doesn't even have to be just men. Women do these games too. And if you are the overfunctioner in the relationship and you want to learn how to not be played by these games, join the Pleasure Centered Society on Substack. Okay, you can get started monthly. You could cancel anytime. This is going to be game changers for you if you have super traits and you want to learn how to create a pleasure centered relationship and pleasure centered life. If eventually, right, if we stop over functioning, and we can do it in small ways, and if we are so grounded that we can't be thrown off track because of somebody's emotions. I don't know if you guys have seen Canada's dating coach, but that was her term. You got to check her out. Videos are hilarious. So, we need to learn how to center our pleasure as step number 1. And 2 things are going to happen. Our partners, our work situation, people are going to do the work. They're going to show up. They're going to be accountable. They're going to start stepping up. And everyone gets to move on feeling better about themselves. Because also, when we're the overfunctioners and we are uptight and we are controlling because we don't feel safe, we're taking away everyone's agency. And people don't really feel close to us. Like, superwomen's husbands often feel like servants or employees to them. It's not connected. Okay. Or the other thing is, or they don't step up, but you get to create a new normal. You get to quiet quit and stop trying to fix things that are never going to fix. Stop wasting time, money, and your health on fixing something that won't fix. So I want to be careful here because I'm not telling you, Superwoman, that nothing is yours. Some of it is yours. Okay. The shame you carry, the dysregulated nervous system you have, the beliefs that you are only worthy if you are over functioning, the pleasure centers in your brain being switched off for the last 10 years. Okay. Your erotic self that you have no idea what she's like. You haven't met her. She's been muted under all the over functioning. Okay. So there is your work to do. But what is not your work to do is to continue to take responsibility for the other side of the street, for adults' emotional regulation, other people's refusal to do their own work, their comfort, their feelings. That is your work to learn how to let it go. And that's the part that I really want you to hear is you cannot heal pleasure inside a context that keeps creating the problem. You just can't. Your nervous system won't let you rebuild safety on a foundation that is continually dismantling it. It doesn't mean you have to leave, but it does mean that you have to choose. Who are you healing for? For you? For him? They're two totally different paths, and one of them actually ends with you having a pleasure-centered life. If you've been listening to this and quietly recognizing yourself, the overfunctioning, the pretzeling, the way you've been trying to heal inside a context, a patriarchal context that keeps rewounding you, I want you to know something. It's not you. You're not selfish. You're not too much or not enough or fundamentally flawed. You're a woman whose body is smarter than your brain and your societal conditioning. Okay. But there's a difference between knowing a pattern and untangling yourself from it. And this is where my private coaching comes in. I currently have 2 spots for my summer private coaching. Okay. Not a course, not a group program. This is me and you, your pleasure strategist, sitting across from you for a series of deep coaching sessions where we map out the dynamic you're inside and untangle the over accountability you've been carrying and rebuild your life and relationships with pleasure, physiologically, somatically. The link to apply to work with me privately is in the show notes. There's a short application, and then you and I will get on a call and make sure that we are a fit. This is not for everyone. This is for the woman who has done the therapy, taken the supplements, read the books, and she is finally ready to admit that the actual issue is not her libido or her desire. The issue is that she has been centering everyone but herself, and she is ready to stop living like this. Your body knows before you know. Your low desire is not a defect. The ick is not a failure. The exhaustion is not your weakness. It actually shows your strength of how much you've been carrying. This is the data that's been there for years. What changes everything is whether you finally take this and centering your pleasure seriously. Let's hop on a call and change this together.